Hello, everybody. I know a little bit unusual for me to be doing multiple videos in one day. Um, for, I just feel like there's just too much going on right now. Um, yeah. First of all, before I continue with everything, I just wanted to let you all know that I did get the second part uploaded. I think it's showing up as a short. So if you want to check it out, it's not much. It's mostly, thank you, my usual concluding remarks and so on and so forth. I don't know exactly how it wound up getting broken up or anything. But yeah, unfortunately, my camera here on my tablet only goes uh, for so long and then splits it up. And I Googled it as far as, how to, splice them together, all that. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't have the brain power right now. And I'm like, screw it, just upload them as two different parts. So yeah, that's up there. If you want to see that and everything. Actually, well, and it took me a while to get the first one uploaded. I don't know what happened, but it was like, um, before I went to go do my yoga, it was showing that it was 66% uploaded. And then when I got done with my yoga, it dropped down to somewhere in the 30s. And it was showing it was going to take 70 more minutes. And I'm just like, what the heck? I'm like, we must be having internet issues or something. Or Mercury retrograde. One or the other. So, but yeah, and I was just like, I don't want to be sitting around here waiting. I need to run over to the store, pick up a few things, and so forth. And I figure I'd go run do that and let it finish its thing. So, um, excuse me. So yeah, when I got home, I had seen that it was done, and I started uploading. Excuse me. Sorry, I just got done with my brunch. Oh, excuse me. Um, but yeah, I got a home and I started uploading and so forth with the second. It was funny. When I did that, started doing that, I had pop into my head way back in the day. We're talking back in the late 80s. There was a comedy skit that Ellen DeGeneres had done back when she used to do stand up. There was this one in particular where she was talking about, how back in those days when we used to write letters, to keep in contact with people, especially long distance, because we had to pay buku money for long distance carriers and so on and so forth. And she had done this skit with the basically poking fun of letter writing and how we used to, okay, we get down to the bottom of the piece of paper and we would draw an arrow or even sometimes put an arrow with the word back, like we were such morons we couldn't figure out, oh, this letter doesn't end here in the middle of a sentence. It actually continues on to the back, or even another piece of paper. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But no, I had that skit pop into my head, and it's like, and I remember her doing this mock reading in the skit, and gets down to the end, and it cuts off in the middle of a sentence, and she acts like the person reading is like, oh my gosh, I hope nothing happened to her. Well, obviously not. The letter got mailed. And I thought about that with the video getting cut off and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was just so fun. It just popped into my head. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. Okay. It's coming back around, isn't it? Oh, well. she, I know. I used to enjoy watching her skits back in the day. So, but anyway, so yeah, that it's up there. Like I said, it might be showing up as a short. So, because it is kind of, it was just, like maybe a couple minutes, something like that. So if you want to, you can check that out. Um, but yeah, I actually, what's prompting this video, with me doing a second video today, is I feel like a lot is happening, probably in relation to Lionsgate. You know, we're still in the Lionsgate portal, even though we're on the exiting end of it now and everything. Um, but I just got done watching the Twin Flame message on Mary Jo Cranmore's channel, Soulful Revolution. Wow, that hit. Especially with what I'm been going through, what I just recorded, with everything that's been happening over the last 24 hours. Uh, um, I realized, you know, just talking about it's messages for the Twin Flame Collective and so forth, but um, yeah, even with this morning's message, I also picked up on some of that. So I feel like, yeah, definitely, you know, with what she's describing in the Twin Flame Collective message and I was also seeing it in the comments that, yeah, most definitely, a lot of us, I mean, we all have divine feminine, divine masculine inside of us, but I really feel like that, with what she was describing is exact. I kid you not, it was exactly what I was, you know, feeling like as what's happening with my divine feminine. It's like, yeah, this is making a lot of sense. So, yeah, if you're going through that and everything, definitely go check that out. Okay. Even if you don't believe in twin flame journey or don't understand what it is or whatever, um, yeah, it could be a message that's coming through for you, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It really, really does. Um, with everything, especially when she was talking about like rage, abandonment issues. I mean, basically, this is you know shit that I've been dealing with my whole life, and it's bled into my adult life. You know, it's still happening in my adult life, and basically having to close those doors so I can, you know, focus on myself, really, you know, this new leg of the journey and everything, do the healing work and so forth. And because I mean, when you were talking about, you know, self-love, self-care, it isn't just about, you know, eating right, exercising, you know, as far as exercising, and you know, talk about, you know, just going for a walk or going to the gym or whatever. I'm not just talking about just that. You have to take care of all three parts of yourself. You have to take care of the mind, body, and soul. Even if you don't believe you have a soul or a spirit or whatever, taking care of your heart. Okay? Um, so that's what I'm talking about. You have to take care of all three in order to be a complete whole self, in order to be able to heal, to be able to love yourself, and you have to do that before you can even potentially allow yourself to love somebody else, because you have to be able to differentiate between what it is that you're feeling. You have to be able to differentiate, you know, the love that you have for yourself versus the love that you have for somebody else. And the only way that you can really love somebody else is to, I keep wanting to say had the desire or want to love somebody else, but to really allow yourself to love somebody else. To I know what I'm trying to say here. It's just I feel like it's not coming out right. It's about, you know, like, okay, you know, oh, I want to, you know, be, I don't know, I want to be an actor. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer or something. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it's like that. You know, where you have your own personal self, and then you have the desire to want to share your life with somebody else, but you still have that differentiation. Both of you have that differentiation between yourselves, but you are sharing in the journey. That's what I'm trying to say. I know it's messages that are always being said all the time and everything, but sometimes, you know, it may hit home a little bit more if it's said maybe a little bit differently or something by some, or maybe if it's coming from a different source or what have you. And this is all stuff that has been said so many times throughout the millennia, really. Not millennium, millennia. Trying to do the plural. Um, but yeah, so that's it. That's how I'm really feeling right now. And I know that's what else I was going to mention. I know I've known for a few days that something was has been in the works. I have learned over the years, you know, I've known for many years that, you know, I have, you know, special gifts and so forth. But one of them that I've learned over the years, basically premonitions. Whenever something is in the works, or something is coming down the pike, could be positive or negative. Um, just something that it's usually something life altering or what have you. Um, Leading up to it, I'll start getting premonitions. It's usually insignificant events, but it's like, I guess you could think of it as like deja vu. But I actually had had dreamt it. I used to call them future dreams, where I remember in my dream state actually experiencing this before, and that, or what have you, or dreamt it or whatever, and then it's actually happening. And like I said, it's insignificant things like me going into the bathroom and turning on a water faucet. Okay, it's like, oh, okay. And then if I get like start getting several of them, and I usually do, okay, it leads up to something. And I thought maybe yesterday's event with finding out about my cousin, and then of course everything rolling after that was going to be it. But actually, it happened to me even while actually when I first started, when I hit that record button on this morning's video. I was just like, okay, we're not through this yet. Something else is coming down the pike. Not too sure what. I've just learned to go with the flow with it. It used to hit me really hard, especially probably the event that hit the hardest was when my mom passed away. It was like those couple of months beforehand. I was getting bombarded with premonitions constantly all throughout the days. It's like they never ended until she passed away, and of course that being the biggest life altering event of all time, at least for me in this lifetime. So yeah, I know something else is coming. I'm just not entirely too sure what. Um, but you know, like I said, I've just learned over the years to just go with it until it happens. So I know that there's something happening, and this is being very. I'm in. I feel like, just like she had said in the video, with all of this, this is the clearing out. basically closing out, clearing out of that karmic contract with these individuals in my life. Uh, Finally putting to rest, I don't want to say finally putting to rest, but basically uh, making peace, with my own inner conflicts, with my guilt and all that sort of stuff, and being like, okay, I guess these chapters are definitely closing, and I had to make peace with that. Um, and no matter what, don't get me wrong, I will always love and care for all these people and everything. And if they were to come back around and be like, hey, let's talk or whatever, okay, fine. But these are the stipulations. I'm not going to deal with it. And changes have to be made. And that's what it boils down to. So, anywho, yeah, I figure it just completely blew my mind. Even though I've been on this journey for the last 5 years, I've tapped into, my gifts have grown, and they have been growing quite a bit here lately and everything. Excuse me, still yet. Even like with MJ, I mean, she's been doing all this stuff. She hasn't been doing the readings like this. She's only been doing them for like about, I think, 7 years. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Um, but she's been doing like her own like personal tarot readings and so forth pretty much almost her whole life, and everything, and been down the spiritual journey. And even when talking, or listening to people like her, or some of the others like Devra over on Devra's Enchantments and so forth, it's like it still will blow your mind this when something like this happens with these synchronicities or whatever, and this is hitting hard right now. So, all I ask is have patience with me, folks. When this happens, things like this happen or whatever, I know one of the best things is just to leave me alone and let me run with it so I can sort it out. Yeah. And I'm probably will be doing more of these videos in the process. So, anyway, um, I love you guys. I do. I really, really do. I really appreciate you allowing me to have these opportunities to pop up here and do all this and do my rants, I guess. Talk things out so I can figure it all out and everything. I do appreciate it. I really do love you guys, and I really love all of the positive energy that keeps being sent my way, and everything. So, anywho, I love you. I'll talk to y'all soon.